Have you ever wondered why, despite working so hard in school, understanding how money works was not part of the curriculum? Well, it's no surprise. And what you're about to discover is even more shocking. Did school ever teach you how to get rich? Most schools teach you how to work for money. But have you ever been taught how money actually works? This is an eye-opening journey through financial education. You might be surprised by what you didn't learn in school. Welcome to our channel where we bring you the best books in under 15 minutes. Now let's dive into the world of finance and see what secrets you missed in school. In this book summary, we will explore a life-changing story of two fathers. There was the poor dad who had all the qualifications, the fancy degrees, but still struggled financially. Then there was the rich dad, seemingly less educated, yet remarkably wealthy. The story begins with the narrator's real dad, his biological father, who was a highly educated man. He held a PhD and was well respected as a university professor. Despite his intelligence and a promising career, he struggled to make ends meet. On the other hand, the rich dad was a successful businessman. He wasn't a formal teacher, but he understood the intricacies of money and wealth creation better than anyone else. Now you're probably wondering, why would a university professor, a person with multiple degrees, be financially worse off than someone less formally educated? What makes one person rich while another remains poor despite having access to some of the best education? The answer lies in the way each person views money and wealth. The poor dad and the rich dad, although different in their backgrounds, shared one thing in common, and that is their love for the narrator and their desire to guide him towards success. As the story progresses, both dads share their perspectives on money and offer advice to the young narrator, shaping his understanding of the financial world. It is during these conversations that the fundamental differences between the two fathers' mindsets become apparent. The poor dad's perspective was heavily influenced by societal norms and conventional wisdom. He believed that financial security came from having a stable job, climbing the corporate ladder, and living within one's means. He emphasized the importance of education, encouraging the narrator to focus on his studies and get good grades because that was the key to getting a great job. The rich dad, however, saw things differently. He didn't believe that traditional education was enough to achieve financial freedom. Instead, he focused on financial education, teaching the narrator the intricacies of money, investing, and building wealth. Now you're probably thinking, well, what's wrong with getting a good job or climbing the corporate ladder? Isn't that a path to success? While it can be for some, it's not a guaranteed path to financial freedom for everyone. Why? Because the truth is, many people spend the majority of their lives working for money, but they never truly achieve financial independence. They trade their time and energy for a paycheck, but they don't make money work for them. And this is exactly what the rich dad tried to teach the young narrator. So what did the rich dad say? Let's take a look. Poor dad, get a safe job. Rich dad, build assets. Here's the difference between these two statements. To the poor dad, getting a safe job meant having job security. It meant working for a reliable company, having benefits and a pension plan. The focus was on having a steady income. To the rich dad, building assets meant creating things that put money in your pocket. Assets are anything that brings you income or increases in value over time. Whether it's investments, rental properties, or businesses, the goal was to make money work for you rather than working for it. To illustrate this concept further, let's look at some examples. A house is not an asset. It's a liability. Why? Because a house requires constant upkeep. It needs maintenance, repairs, and property taxes. All of these expenses cost money. A car is also not an asset. It depreciates in value over time. As soon as you drive it off the lot, its value begins to decline. It's a liability that takes money from your pocket rather than putting money in it. On the other hand, rental property can be an asset. If you purchase a property that generates rental income, then you have something that is putting money in your pocket. You could also invest in stocks, bonds, or other investment vehicles that generate dividends or interest. These investments can grow your wealth over time. So do you see the difference? The poor dad focused on liabilities, things that took money out of your pocket. The rich dad focused on assets, things that put money in your pocket. It's important to remember that this distinction is crucial to understanding how to build wealth. Now, you may be thinking, okay, I understand the concept, but wouldn't most people need a job to support themselves? Absolutely. Everyone needs money to survive. We all have bills to pay and financial obligations. However, the real question is, do you want to work until your last breath, or do you want to find a way to make money work for you? Do you want to be like the poor dad who trades time for money, or do you want to be like the rich dad who makes money work for him? The poor dad believed that the more schooling you have, the higher your chances of getting a high-paying job. He thought that a prestigious degree directly translated to financial success. The problem with this mindset is that it assumes the world is completely fair and that hard work always leads to financial reward. The reality, however, is that the world doesn't always work that way. Many people who study hard and graduate with honors still struggle to find well-paying jobs. Others who don't follow the traditional education path may end up more successful. Furthermore, solely relying on a high-paying job for financial success is risky. What happens if you lose your job or your industry becomes saturated? The rich dad, on the other hand, took a different approach. He didn't think that traditional education was enough. He wanted his son to learn about money, investing, and business. He believed that these were the keys to building true wealth. Instead of simply getting a job after high school, the rich dad encouraged the narrator to consider alternative paths such as entrepreneurship or investing. He showed him how to turn small amounts of money into substantial wealth through smart investments and calculated risks. What if I told you that the average millionaire built their fortune after the age of 40? It's true. Take a look at the world's richest people. Many of them didn't start seeing significant success until later in life. For example, Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, didn't start selling fried chicken until he was 65 years old. Walt Disney, the man behind the Disney Empire, didn't see major success until he was in his late 30s. And J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was a single mother living on welfare when she wrote the first Harry Potter book. Here's the moral of the story. It's never too late to start pursuing your dreams and financial goals. If you're unhappy with your current situation or career, it's okay to change course. You don't have to stick with a job or career path that you dislike just because you've invested time and money into it already. Sometimes it's worth pivoting to pursue something that brings you more joy and financial reward. However, here's the catch. Changing careers or starting a new venture can be daunting. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. But the truth is, life isn't certain anyway. Even if you stay in your current job, there's no guarantee of success or financial stability. By quitting your job, you're not taking away the uncertainty. You're simply changing the nature of the risk. Instead of risking financial stability in a job you hate, you're risking it to pursue something that could potentially make you happier and more financially successful. Do you see the power of this mindset shift? It's the difference between being in a cage and not having a cage. Not having a cage is better, but it's still not as good as soaring freely in the sky. This is the essence of financial freedom. It's not just about making money, but also about having the freedom to spend your time and energy on what truly matters to you. The poor dad believed that money was the root of all evil. He saw the pursuit of wealth as a source of greed, corruption, and inequality. This perspective often leads to a deep-seated distrust of those who are wealthier. The rich dad, however, had a different view. He didn't believe that money was inherently evil. He understood that money, like any other tool, could be used for good or bad. He taught the narrator that wealth, if managed wisely, could be a powerful force for positive change. He showed him how he could use his financial resources to invest in businesses that create products or services that benefit society. Think about it. Some of the most iconic companies started by billionaires have not only made them incredibly wealthy, but have also improved the lives of millions. For example, Jeff Bezos created Amazon, revolutionizing the way we shop and giving consumers unprecedented access to products. Bill Gates, through Microsoft, developed software that has made technology accessible to billions. These individuals have amassed wealth while also creating products that have positively impacted society. It's not about whether money itself is good or bad. It's about how you choose to use it. The poor dad believed that money should be saved, hoarded, and kept safe. He was afraid of investing and losing money, so he kept large amounts of cash in savings accounts. The rich dad, however, had a completely different perspective. He believed that money was meant to be invested and allowed to grow. He understood the power of compounding returns and how small investments could turn into substantial wealth over time. Instead of keeping money in a savings account where it loses value due to inflation, he showed the narrator how to invest it in assets that appreciate in value. Take a look at this chart. Imagine you have $1,000. If you keep it in a savings account earning 1% interest, it will grow to $1,100,000 after 1 year. That's an increase of $100. But if you invest that $1,000 in an asset that earns a 10% return, it will grow to $1,100. In this scenario, you earn 10 times more on your investment compared to keeping it in a savings account. Over time, this compounding effect can turn small investments into significant wealth. And there you have it, a life-changing story that challenges conventional wisdom and encourages us to think differently about money, wealth, and education. Remember, it's not about the size of your bank balance, but about the size of your financial mindset. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it valuable, hit that like button and share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell for more insightful book summaries. And for those looking for more ways to level up, we've got you covered. Check out our other videos for more content that will inspire and educate you on your journey towards success.